AI art is blowing up on Etsy right now, and most people don't even realize it. There are tons of sellers making thousands and thousands of dollars every single month selling AI art as digital prints on Etsy. And with new partnerships like the ChatGPT Etsy integration, these sales are only going to go up. But I get it. It can feel overwhelming or super complicated to get started. So in this video, I want to answer your questions directly. This is an Etsy AI art sellers QA, and we cover a ton of different topics in this video. So if you're just getting started with AI art, or you're just hoping to start your first ever Etsy shop, then this video is for you. And as you're watching, feel free to leave a question below this video and I'll answer it in the next YouTube Q&A. I love doing these and I go into them totally blind, so you're gonna see my honest reaction to all these questions. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So we are back with another YouTube Q&A. We have a big stockpile of questions to get through today, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first question from Just Me. You still have to each description, title, and tags individually though, right? As they are all different art prints. Those are what takes the most time. And putting your images in mockups, uploading the images to the listing is quick. So I assume he's talking about writing the SEO title, tags, and description for all of your listings. And, I have some news for you. It's actually not as hard as it might seem. So if I go to Downpour right here, this is the bulk upload software that I've spent thousands of hours building. And in the last couple months, we've added some really key AI features that do a ton of the heavy lifting for you. So here's the software. You set up your mockups, video, files, quantity, price, right? All like the static parts of your images. Your listings. And then you just go ahead and drag and drop a bunch of art files. So if I pull up this right here, so we turn our art into this big pile of folders, right? Looks a little scary. It's all automatic. And then what you do is you just go ahead and like drag and drop these. So it's your cropped and upscaled images, all your mockups. Like this commenter just said was the easy part, which, more or less we have an automation that does it for you. But if I just drag and drop it, it's going to dissect the tree, turn all of these into listings, and then it's going to do something totally crazy. So it's dissecting 135 files and images, right? And it did it pretty quickly. And if I just go ahead and click this button, it's going to auto-generate AI titles, tags, description, little unique keywords, and alt text for every single one of our images. And it's going to do that for every single one of our listings. In this case, we have 9. So yeah, it's a pretty passive background process. And, we used to be really kind of complicated, which was like writing the right titles and tags and all this kind of SEO stuff for Etsy. It's now just, we just let the AI do it. And it's been meticulously trained on like a ton of best-selling titles, tags, the exact format for alt text to rank high in Google as well as Etsy. And a bunch of other stuff like that. So you can see it's done 44% of our 9 listings at this point. It's also uploading right now. So there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. But again, it's all passive. I could have left at this point and gone to the local pool to go do some laps or something. But yeah, so for example, it's like it wrote us a title here. It wrote us a big set of tags. They're all within the Etsy limits for like tag format and syntax and length for the title, stuff like that. Keywords, and then alt text. So yeah, there we are. Everything gets written with AI. It's all completely background. It's all completely passive. You can even use Google Drive or do this for bundles or whatever else. And then you just click upload and then you're done. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. Thank you. Just me. In the last few months, it's really became easier than ever to rock and roll with this business. So thank you for the question. This commenter, Diclonius. Cool. I have an Etsy shop with almost 500 sales now. Congrats. That's awesome. Selling mainly vector files and some clip art. I'm going to make some wall arts for my shop. Oh, alrighty. Yeah, go ahead and do it. The one thing I would say is, I don't know what your current, clip art is a kind of a wide niche. Could be like a wide variety of products. I would maybe recommend starting a new shop because the riches are in the niches. If I pull this up again. So let me just quick pull up one of my favorite shops that I love breaking apart when anyone talks about niches, and that is Four Sisters Print Shop, right? So they have this pastel watercolor niche right here. Kind of like family friendly. Yeah, watercolor, very vibrant. But look at these. These are great. And it's a very consistent style across their entire shop, which is what you need. You want your shop or your brand to be consistent. And like, yes, when you build an Etsy shop, you really are just building a brand. So it's important to kind of keep a distinct style, I would say. If you had like, if they had a bunch of like different like clip arts, or maybe they had like mugs or something in this shop, it would just take away from it. It would take away from the brand consistency, right? And just show some numbers. Like 1.5 years later, Four Sisters is doing 11K in estimated monthly revenue, right? 1.5 years of just niching down and going for it, right? Yeah, so these guys are great. So hopefully that answers that question. Yeah, so good luck. But yeah, like I said, I would probably recommend starting a new shop for wall art, but totally up to you. I keep trying to do this, my precious baby Ray, but still can't get it going. Yeah, I mean, the hardest part with anything ever is the beginning, because like you're bad, like you just don't know what you're doing. You have to learn how to get good, and then it becomes fun. So you don't have any positive feedback. You're just posting listings. No one's buying them, but you just have to keep on keeping on. Like same thing with like my YouTube or whatever else. Like you just have to keep going. Get your first like 100 listings, 200 listings live, and then evaluate. Like you just have to like tell yourself in your mind that you're gonna get to 200 listings before you even look up and like see what the results are, right? Because if you just post 5 listings and wait for results, like you're not going to get anywhere. You have to do a level of volume that would be unreasonable, that you're not going to see some data, and then you can use the data to kind of tailor you as you're going. But yeah, I mean, that's just the best way to do it. There's nothing that'll give you that like great positive reinforcement right away, unless you're playing like a video game or something. But anything that has like real world results, like business, like there's a period of just kind of grinding. But I mean, hey, if you want to use Downpour in the automation system, it makes it a lot easier to get to like the 1,000 or 1,400 listing level, like Four Sisters. So I will say that. I tried to make it easier than ever, because yeah, I was stumbling around in the dark when I first started. But thank you for the comment. Good luck. I mean, I believe in you, man. I really think you can do it. I think anyone can do it with this business. I think the AI art tools are just better than ever. And yeah, if you want, you can join the free community. Just click on my YouTube profile. We have like some prompts and some resources in there. So Michelle Davis, this was amazing. Overwhelming, but feels very supportive. Thank you, Alec. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so this is the Start Here video in the free group. And I get it. I mean, it's a totally new business if you're getting started with AI art. But like with the automation or just the like resources in general, I try to make it as simple as possible. And it's just like riding a bike. I use that example all the time. Or like driving a car, right? Your first time you do it in the parking lot, you're like, like, what do I do? You're driving around the cones or whatever. But it really does get easier, I promise. Okay, so let's start where we left off. For myself, the only stumbling block is the cost, which is a bit steep for me, and that is what is stopping me from joining. The idea and what it offers seem to be amazing and reduce workload for sure. Might have to add it to my wish list for the future. So yeah, I mean, I won't lie, the AI Art Sellers Collective does have a monthly membership fee. But I mean, the idea is that you're getting like a bargain. Like there's a ton of value in there, a ton. The automation system, resources, custom AI assistants, templates, the community itself, access to like myself and a ton of high level sellers. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer if you're trying to make money with AI art on Etsy and cash out like a lot of other sellers are doing. That's the whole point. But yeah, obviously it's totally up to you. Yeah, it's totally up to you. I'll leave it at that, right? Like you make your own decisions. I would highly recommend it. I think a lot of the 250 sellers in the group would recommend it as well. But obviously, yeah, totally up to you. Start with the free group. It's in my YouTube profile. It's a great place to get started with no, extra payments or anything like that. How long did it take you after opening your store to make that much per month? So yeah, I hit $3,000 a month within my first year, which was crazy. Like no one was more surprised than me. And I honestly attributed all of the automation system. Like it allowed me to reach 1,000 listings like faster than anyone ever probably thought was possible. And they're good. Like it's not just a bunch of like slop or like bad stuff. It was quality. It allows you to kind of mix quantity and quality. And like I said, make it fun along the way. So anyway, Get out, Kimberly. Kimberly, let's go. Get out. This is the bomb. It has a spot asking who made this, and you have listed I did. Is that okay, or to use even if I used AI to create it? Yes. Yep, that is correct. Because you did make it. Like, you prompted it. You used a tool to make it. Like, it's the options there are essentially if you use like a production partner or a different human, like a different business to help you make it. Which these AI tools don't really count for that. So yes, you're supposed to say who made this as I did. But on top of that, if you're making stuff with AI, which is what we're doing, you should include like a small little blurb in your descriptions. Like for example, if I go to Lexington Prints, they do this extremely tastefully, and I go to one of their listings like this, and I go to their description down here. At the very bottom, they just say, this artwork's creation process includes a base of AI developed into a final rendition with digital painting. So, just a nice kind of tasteful way to say AI is used in the process, and that's really all you have to do. That's kind of Etsy's policy for AI designs, but they're fully supportive of AI, and yeah, it's just awesome to see. I mean, essentially at the end of the day, it's like if people are buying these products, like they're obviously great and they obviously have value, and so there you go. So, good question though. I mean, yeah. So you want to say I did. That's just the best way to do it as you're getting it set up. Diclonius, once again, what do you think? How should our prices for digital wall art, like $3 for one is good? Often is if our prices are too low, people think the item is low quality and they don't buy it anyways, right? Yes, I would agree with that. I mean, there's plenty of ways you can go about it. Honestly, it just depends on how much kind of like brand power you have. Like, for example, Atlas Vintage, who I showed in the beginning. These guys have been around for 2 years. They do an estimated $9,000 every single month, which is great. And they actually kind of price within this like $2.50 range still. But there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I've talked about having premium prices and stuff like Four Sisters, like we were just looking at. So they price $6.30, right? Which is a ton. That's very high for the wall art digital niche, right? But they just are so niche down and they have such good products that they're able to do that. However, because these are fully digital and they're infinitely scalable, like this design can sell 10 million times and this seller doesn't have to do anything. It's all margin, besides like the percentage for the Etsy fees, which really isn't that bad, especially because Etsy gives you free traffic. So anyway, yeah, I've kind of doubled back on that. I think 250 is a great range. Atlas Vintage, because it's kind of proven the model. Lexington Prints, it's around that range too. Bundles are more obviously, but yeah, 280, right? So yeah, I think especially as you're getting started, it's great to stay within that $2 to $3 range because yeah, it's infinitely scalable. Once you get like 10K, 20K sales and you start building a really strong brand, then you can go a little bit higher. So that's where I would start. Steven, another video of great advice and insight to help Etsy sellers out. Like, this is an amazing strategy to help them with their SEO. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Steven, as always. Cheers. Maria, I thought Etsy is not supporting AI art. No, yeah, that is not correct. They are definitely supporting it. The only kind of disclaimer is that you have to include that little blurb like I showed with Lexington Prints. But yeah, no, Etsy has been publicly supportive of AI. I actually made a video about this the other day. Well, kind of a while ago, but it was one of the co-founders of Etsy was actually sort of like one of the first ever AI artists. He made these like computer generated art designs. So yeah, I just think Etsy is like this perfect storm for AI designs. And like I said a little earlier, like people are buying them. If the quality's good and it's drawing in shoppers, like it really doesn't matter. I mean, Etsy is pushed for humans to be the owners of shops, right? I think that's a big one. Maybe that's like where you were getting that from. But yeah, at the end of the day, like if you're creating products that people want, that's all that matters. So Timeless Rain. Hi, Alec. I want to start with vintage frames, but in these horizontal formats, 5x4. Okay. Where to start? TV, frames, or prints? Or can I do both, or would I focus on just one style? Yeah. So what he's referring to is someone like Lexington Prints. Zoom out a little bit. They do verticals and frame TV and horizontal prints. And yeah, I guess that's it. Vertical prints, horizontal prints, frame TV. and bundles. If I were you, I would probably start with prints. Those are normally the kind of bread and butter for like Lexington prints, right? Prints are definitely going to be your highest sellers compared to Frame TV, but Frame TV is a huge addition. It's like even if 20% of your sales come from Frame TV, 20% of 10K a month is still like real money that's worth having, right? So anyway, prints are kind of the bread and butter. I would say Frame TV art, especially around the holidays, is a great thing to push on. Frame TV art, I have an entire like hour and a half training on that. It's super in-depth and great. Really just kind of covers everything, like how to make it, how it works, the niche, stuff like that. But this is essentially for like one kind of avatar / product, which is Frame TV owners, Samsung Frame TV. And around the Christmas time, like the holidays, that's when, people are getting gifted these or buying them themselves, like Black Friday as well. So yeah, now's the time to be creating Frame TV designs if there ever was a time. So yep, I would say that. But, you want to have a good foundation too. So doing, if you really want, you can do both. Like Lexington, for example, look at their Frame TV art, look at their regular print, right? Pretty dang similar. So just kind of like spreading the wealth without cannibalizing, because like no one's going to buy this and print it out, right? Frame TV is specifically for 4K, 16:9. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. Timeless Rain. And yeah, those sizes look good. One of my favorite phrases is do what they do, get what they get. So you look at a shop like Atlas Vintage or Lexington Prints, and they're using these sizes, like there's probably a reason for that. So you can use those sizes too. And, if you post high quality designs, you'll probably end up around where they are, maybe higher, maybe lower. It all depends on you, no guarantees. But yeah, so I wish you all the best of luck, man. And then we're at the last two. So this is only for AI art, no physical products. That is correct. The automation system is only for digital products. Yeah, I said this kind of in the beginning of my journey, but I don't want to be everything to everyone, because then you kind of end up being nothing to no one. So we're focusing on digital products here, specifically like AI wall art, Frame TV, digital products like that. I know there are a couple other members who are using like Tempest and Downpour, the automations for other types of digital products like Tumblr wraps. And I think we'll slowly kind of add support for stuff like that. But I really want to keep the focus on AI wall art, because I just think that niche is blowing up right now. And it's the one I've, spent all my Etsy experience with. And yeah, I love it. I think it's really fun too. So yep, correct. No physical products. Yeah. Thanks for the question though. All right. And the grand finale, coup de grace, Susan. Hi, Alec. I am considering joining your community, but I do have a couple questions. Do I have to use Midjourney with your automation, or can I use something else like Ideogram, etc., for instance? Yes, you can use whatever you want. It's literally just as simple as just throwing designs in this like conveyor belt, and then they get turned into all these. All right, and each of these has mockups and cropped images, like I showed in the beginning, right? So each of these has cropped images and mockups, right? So as long as you fill this input folder with images, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where they came from. It doesn't matter if they're vertical or horizontal or 16:9 Frame TV. Like, it handles all these cases, or bundles even. Yeah. So essentially you just throw them in and then run the automation script, and then everything gets created up for you automatically in the background, and you can just like go live your life and, save yourself like hundreds of hours of clicking around in Photoshop. So yeah, I get that question a lot. No, yeah, you can use anything you want. Nana Banana, Ideogram, Kittle, I think is one a lot of people use. Yep. Yeah, you got it. Then second question, if I have to use Midjourney, do I have to go through Discord? Oh, no, absolutely not. Yeah, if you want to use Midjourney, which I recommend Midjourney, I would go through the Midjourney website. I personally think it's better in every way. They have the Organize tab, which allows you to download like hundreds of designs in seconds. All your upscales, you can like filter and sort. Yeah. So I'd recommend using the Midjourney site. It's just awesome. And I just think it's more clear and a little bit more intuitive. Thank you for your time. I'm going to finish binge watching your videos now. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have about 40 videos on the channel now, so a lot to binge watch. But thank you for that, Susan. Yeah. And so that actually covers it. Wow. We got through a lot of great stuff in here today. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And like I've said before, if you want me to answer your question, just go ahead and comment below this video and I'll answer it in the next YouTube QA. I love doing these. These are just kind of like live, unfiltered, just kind of we're hanging out, answering questions. And yeah, I mean, I just really believe in this business. As you can probably tell, I love the automation stuff that I've built and that people are using. And, you know, a ton of people have found value from it. I don't think people would be using it if they didn't, right? And you get access to everything with the AI Art Sellers Collective in the description. There's no like long-term contracts or anything. You can join for a month, try it out. Like, yeah. So you do save a quarter for every dollar if you join with the annual plan, but that's totally up to you. Yeah, and you get the automation system, the script, a full course about selling AI art and how to get started, like best-selling prompts. I mean, there are a lot of best-selling prompts in this AI art showcase tab. A lot, like pages and pages of them. Otherwise, yeah, like resources, the automation suite, yeah, everything you need to get started and see some real sales on Etsy. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's all my best stuff, and it's just a fun place where we hang out and do monthly giveaways. We're giving away $350 this month. We're definitely leveling up the giveaways. Yeah, so it's just awesome. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below this video if you want to be featured in the next one. And last but not least, I'm your biggest fan. I believe in you. I think you can do anything you put your mind to. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.